So hello, my name is Madalena. I said very well. I'm a head of product experience operations for a French startup, and today I'm going to be speaking about the perfect makeup routine, but not specifically makeup routine. That AI basically builds the foundation, but we actually need the human touch to make sure that it represents us, because AI is building for humans, not for themselves. So, like I said, this isn't a makeup talk, it's a product talk, but the metaphor helps. Like when we do highlight and we put on lipstick and we rush out of the house. Let's imagine this situation, and then we get to school or we get to our jobs and the makeup starts to go down and everything starts to crush. You forgot to put your foundation, you forgot to put your primer. You know, like it's the same with product. We have the little tweaks, like we have to do this quickly. We have to. Next day you have coding like with AI. You have to do this quickly because you can do this quickly because now you have AI. So let's just do it. Why should you wait for strategy? You should go right away to the next point, and then things like the makeup, it breaks. So, and we feel like, it's fine, it's not my company, it's fine. They're not going to be on top of us, it's fine. So basically, this is what it looks like when we skip the foundation work and when we treat design as just like a product strategy, or even without the product strategy sometimes. We just like, okay, our product is very old, we need to update, AI is here, we need to make things pretty, things need to feel beautiful. Okay. Things need to feel beautiful. Things need to be pretty. That's okay. We like things like this on our products. But sometimes pretty is not pretty enough, if that makes sense. Like the example of we are focusing too much on something that is just surface level. And then when it goes on the back end, on the AI, even the engineering part, it kind of cracks because the code is done running. The code is not, you don't read the code, you don't think of the foundation of the usability, you don't think of accessibility, you don't think of anything that actually solves the problem. Right now, we have a great thing, which is AI, that can help us make things quicker. But we also have the opportunity to focus on accessibility, which is something that we have been lacking for the past, well, since forever. We have this time now because of this point, and it's important to think. And why is this topic so important right now? 72% already of the CEOs are saying that in 3 years, Gen AI will be the foundation, will be the significantly reshaping everything. Just in 3 years, even less if it continues the way that it's continuing. It's becoming more and more important for us to think of workflow that has AI, of course, but it also has the foundation and the primer. Another fact is AI, as we know, is reshaping how we build. But 71% of organizations now use AI in some sort, even small. Just already 71% are using. If you want to see about this study, McKinsey is amazing about this type of studies. And basically, when we are focusing on organizations and specifically product-led organizations, we need to think of the experience-led. So we need to have this part of the product and understand the product, but you also have to have the experience of it. You need to polish a UI, but it basically won't save what you're actually trying to do. Sometimes it will just ruin what you're doing. So, like I was saying, we are getting very, very good at building fast. We are very good, but not at building this kind of connection that makes us who we are. It's great that we have this online world like VR and so on, but how can we use this in a way to build even more those connections? There's a lot of studies online that say, and they are backed, that say that our connections with other humans is very important for us to have a good mental health, which is something that sometimes we forget because we think of, oh my God, I'm going to finish my work right now. 5 minutes done, I can go do whatever I want. Okay, great, but if you are continuously doing this, you're going to lose what makes you who you are, and that is very important as well. So a good example is this. So the responsible AI with the brand voice is looking at the product team, and the product team is like, oh, I auto-generated everything. Let's do it. Let's forget everything, and let's have UX that. Let's break the user experience because that looks good. Let's break the user experience because it's fast, and the stakeholders are telling me, I need this for yesterday, please go wrong. And that's where we need to talk. Here is the point where we need to talk. Okay, you want things to build fast, you need to explain to your workers how to build products that are fast, but don't forget the experience, the usability of it. When you have this type of conversation, when you're building your company, you need to have this into consideration. You need to think of a workflow of something that actually is built to last, not built to ship the next day. If you want something to be fast with AI, you need to have the foundations. The same way when we didn't have AI, we also built the foundations to have good products. Now the component that we have is fast. So how can we have fast, but don't forget what actually builds a good product? What actually builds something that lasts? Like I was saying, accessibility, usability, performance, error handling, design systems, privacy, security. A good thing that we could use is the ANSI systems. This is basically the primer and the base, the foundations. When you are building, for example, a great tool, if you want to try, is Cursor. It's a great tool that connects with front end, back end, and helps build products faster. But you need the part of UX, you need the part of the product, the designers, to build the rules with the front end, with the back end. Those rules are the foundation, are the systems that others don't see, but without them, you're building without any connection to anything you were building. So what I see the future to be is for us to start by defining which rules should be in the building of this AI and how can we continuously build it. Automation ops equals freeing humans to focus on the glow, like I was saying. Focus on accessibility, focus on usability, focus on performance. Where AI belongs, it belongs to the part where it actually makes the productivity increase. I will, in a few minutes, share a bit of an example of how I like to build a workflow. It's very interesting, but basically it reduces the time by 30% by having it focus on you actually want. You need to define what the AI should focus on. You should not just, okay, I need to have this in 1 week. Let's just say, AI, please do this to me today so I can ship it faster. So a good example is this quirky little, I don't know if you know this little all that is very sassy on the messages. Basically, the glow on here is the tone, context, humor, and brand. This is where we need to focus because the rest we are building and building with AI. When you're focusing that, we need to personalize this learning path, and this is what they are doing. They are creating an atmosphere for the user that actually feels like they want to use the tool because it connects to them. That's where the human touch is. And then the automating basically the content sequencing with the time push and notifications. Have you ever got the message like, hey, you haven't been on the platform in a long time, and just, it's very generic. And then you come with a wall that says, so, you don't care about me anymore. What's up with that? Quirky, it gets your attention, right? That's basically a good way to see it. And then with the examples, yeah, ready for a break, your Japanese lessons won't take themselves. Hi, it's Duo, make your screen time count, take a quick Japanese lesson now. Yes, I'm learning Japanese, so it's good. It's hard, but it's good. The passive-aggressive wall, basically. This is where we are. This is what makes us who we are, basically. And then Slack, no one remembers the search, the Slack search, but everyone remembers the confetti. It remembers the message saying, hey, you have a new team member, say hi. Things like this that makes us connect with others. That's where we need to focus on. So a good example of the glow framework that I wanted to bring today is the prep is the primer, the base is the foundation, correct is concealer, set is powder, and glow highlighter with the final touch with the brows and the lips. Basically, it's where the product layer is. This is something that we could use to explain how to do it. And from here, from each focus point, you can create different interactions and different rules that will make your process quicker, and it will actually solve each problem in a more efficient way and give the company, the stakeholders, what they want on the time that they want. So Slack, you have the foundation, which is the smart search, you have the threads, you have the reliability, but then how can you give this glow as a person? You can give this glow by giving like small interactions like the confetti, emoji reactions, tone of voice. What is this? It's like the full UX it feels on the Slack is like a world that you're part of, you know? Everything is connected in a way that makes sense to you and that you can connect to your coworkers without feeling the need to, oh, when is that new person coming to the team? Oh, I have to think, oh, I have to have it on my calendar, or if I forget. You don't have to think about that anymore because the Slack team had that experience. Excuse me, my throat is very dry. But basically this, the confetti, this is the confetti I was talking about. I don't know if you ever received this. I think it's very fun. But an example. And then Headspace, which is one of my favorites for this example, because when you are on Headspace, you can, without seeing, without noticing, you feel good, you feel calm, you feel like everything is okay. You touch the UX feel of it. It feels like it's not just a product anymore. It feels like it's someone that I can count on, you know? This is where we are as humans. We have the soothing tone. My God. Animations and the brand warmth. That's where we are. That's where we are building. Because that's what makes us who we are. And that's what we shouldn't lose. Of course, in our professional workspace, we need to have the rules part. We need to have the structuring part. Of course, that part is important. That's what we are going to do professionally. But we should never lose this glow, because if we lose this glow, will be just the foundation, just the personalized habit system that you will use, and we will become robots. And we are using robots to help us, not to replace us. So the feeling I was telling you about, the smoothness of the colors that we like, and the anxieties flowing away. Amazing. Like Oprah says very well, you get a great tooltip, you get a context copy, and then, right? So it's something to take in consideration and to give everyone what they want in a way that makes sense. This is the workflow that I was telling you about. It's the retention flywheel. It's a huge thing for me to explain right now, so I'll just do the highlight or the high level of it. But basically, a good number to think about is the 5% increase in retention can boost profits by 25% to 95%. When we are thinking of retention and when we are creating a workflow that makes sense for our product with activation, we have the haha moment, for example, with the onboarding. How can we build an onboarding that actually retains people to the platform? This is what we need to think when we are using our intelligence. We need to think of how can we retain and how can this new tool help us retain users. We need to think of the metrics, the KPIs. We need to think of how can we create the rules-based that will meet what we need to build a strong and valuable product. Engagement, we need the user to continue coming to the platform every day, or at least every time that I need. For example, with the finances, when we need to do the finances, we don't go there. If we are working for a company, we don't have to go there every day. We don't have to go there every month. But we do have to go there every year. If the experience is better, we would want to do the process in a better way, even if it sometimes frustrates. But we need to have this in consideration when we are building this to engagement. Just because something is necessary to do, it doesn't mean that it's enjoyable. So if we can make it more enjoyable, we can retain more customers. And then we need to expand. We need to create the people that will talk with other people about our product. We need to think of a way to uniformize all of this to actually retain what we need in the process, in a workflow. A workflow is something that is created depending on the person as well. It's something that it's the process that makes sense for the work that you do. Where are you strong on? Where are you not strong on? What do you need to make it fast in order to deliver faster without losing what makes it who it is? That's where we need to think. Foundation plus glue, isn't cute. It's compounding. So, example of how to automate our like high-level automating. Onboarding flow, yes, but you have to think of the tone and reassurance, like I was saying. Error prevention, yes, it's great, we can do it, but we need to think of the error messaging, because if the AI says, let's imagine that the AI just says, yes, error on the platform. You're like, okay, but what happened to the platform? Like, okay, what do I do? What did I do? You have to say error in this, this specific input field has this error. Please review by doing this, this, and this. This is an example of what we can do, and we have to make sure that we have it. Product copy and brand voice, it's something that it shouldn't be AI-based, or at least it should have specific rules for it with 100%. It should, for me specifically, I think it should be 100% stay human, because it's, like I said, who we are. Makes the foundation. Future recommendations, AI-driven, human-curated. We always have to have the connection with everything that we are doing, not to break our process, our flow. And I would like to leave today with some questions for you to think of it. And if you want to talk after about them, I'm more than happy to talk. But where in your product are you building the foundation, and where are you glowing? Where are you losing your foundation in your product? That right now it feels like it's not a problem, but in about a month, it might break what you're building. How can you make sure that that doesn't break your product? So thank you very much. My name is Madalena. If you want to connect, I'm there.